Hey guys, welcome back to another week of fundamental analysis. Welcome back to my channel, obviously. We have a very interesting week this coming week. I want to delve into potential trade ideas. I still am in my US 30 trade, so I think we might start there. Just a recap of where we're at right now. We know that January we did take a loss on UJ. We bought UJ with strong economic news on USD, and then shortly later we had some strength in the yen. We were still in the trade. We kept the trade and lost. So we lost $351 on that one, AUD. We are still in our US 30 trade, which we bought, and I will show you guys this trade here. So we bought that on the 3rd of Feb. It's currently the 17th of Feb, which means we've held for 2 weeks now. You can see price is chopping, but we've calculated our risk. I'm going to let that play out, and if it passes through this resistance, we'll move our stop here. If it bounces down and takes our stop loss out, we are down 1%. So let's just start firstly with fundamental analysis. This is the 10th of February to the 16th of February. Keeping in mind, guys, as per usual, this is not financial advice. This is just my take on the markets. Please do your own research and make your own trades using the understanding you guys and research you guys conduct yourself. So COT reporting, we had COT reporting from the 11th of Feb. We still see that sort of bullishness in the yen. We also have bullishness in the Aussie now, which is quite strange, to be honest, because all indications of the Aussie are quite weak. We are expecting rate cuts potentially next week, but something to note. These are the 2 or 3 I'm interested on. US 30, we had 2.16% bias change. We have silver 1.17, and silver, that's 2 weeks in a row of bullishness. We have USD still somewhat bullish, and the rest are all negative here, so even including gold. And we know that gold in the last 3 or 4 weeks have been very, very bullish. Again, that was a potential trade earlier in the year that I thought of taking, but I'm glad I didn't. We would be up around 10-ish right now, to be honest with you, but I'm glad I didn't take that because it wasn't part of my rules. US data, we had inflation data and core retail sales. Core retail sales, we had worse than expected, so negative 0.4 over the expected 0.3, which is quite concerning. We did get a revision though last month, so I popped it as a neutral, cancels each other out. We also know that obviously January, early start of the year, we had the fires, things like that, just everything affecting it. So yeah, just let's keep it at, I decided to keep it as a neutral reading, even though that's really worse than expected. So overall in the economic reading that I have on my table, we are slightly bullish now for USD. Now in terms of inflation, we had year on year being hotter than expected, month on month being almost double than expected. We had CPI, core CPI being hotter than expected, which is excluding volatile items like automobiles. And then we had core PPI being revised up from 0% to 0.3%, and we had regular PPI being revised up plus hotter than expected. So very, very bullish on the USD. We have core PCE, which will be released not next week, but the week after, which will be very interesting to see this whole inflation story. So the reason why I don't think stagflation is at play right now is because there is signs of a healthy economy, somewhat healthy labor market, a neutral labor market, but still somewhat healthy. I think stagflation, for me personally, I don't think it's at play at all. Aussie, we had Westpac consumer confidence, which was the first time it's landed in expansion. Still sort of the same reading, so not too much change on the Aussie. I'm still quite bearish on Aussie, but that's that. Yen, we had PPI bullish, so we had neutral to bullish because of this revision, and also obviously because it is, that's a revision there as well that I need to change. That's better than expected on PPI. I'll change that after this call or this video. So very, very bullish on the yen so far, especially if we start getting better or higher readings in CPI. We're quite bullish on the yen. So let's go through the graphs. We had CPI, so year on year, you can see we've come down with the we let the interest rates do its thing. Upon easing, Trump in office, tariffs, this might be the reason why it's slowly increasing back to that 3%. And we'll go through the news as well in regards to what Powell wants to do with rates. Again, look at that steep increase from the last 4 months, just a push up. We still have that inflation story going on. PPI comes down this on a month-to-month basis, but year to year we can still see we are elevated for PPI. What else have we got? Retail sales, we should have, yeah, this I need to change. I apologize, guys. This I do need to update, but we do know retail sales went down, and it's worse than expected. So something to note. Westpac consumer confidence, you can see we're slowly creeping back to that zero line now. Somewhat signs of a better economy for the Aussie. And that's it for the graphs. This week's data, very, very interesting, guys. I have quite a lot to talk about with this one. So we had a lot of Trump sort of news and him speaking. We do know sorry, that's my dog there, guys. So sorry for the background noise, but we do know Trump has released a 25% tariff on steel and aluminium. We also know that obviously 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico. And this is the interesting part I wanted to mention to you guys, is that during a report November 2024, silver was the main import from the US from Mexico, around $214 million. And I believe the next was Korea or something like that on 50 million. So most of their silver is coming from Mexico. And he also mentions a possibility of increasing tariffs on metals. And this I've written as all poses as a supply reduction or restriction. So here's my thought process, guys. I'm going to delve a bit deeper into this thought process on another video, but basically we have increased tariffs on metals. What is to say that, again, he suggests increased tariffs on other metals. We have precious metal, which is silver. What makes, if these two metals are increasing tariffs, the next you would suggest is maybe potentially silver. USD, we had CPI and Powell speaking. I think that was on Wednesday here. Powell has stated that still the underlying US economy is still very strong, which is why I don't think that stagflation's at play. He wants to keep policies restrictive for now, and he also advises that PCE is a better indicator than CPI. So that's something I also noted, is let's see PCE and let's see if it really is a hyperinflated state that we're at right now. Something to consider. But all in all, that's very interesting news for this week. Next week we have cash rates for Aussie, claim account for pound. What else we got? We got Trump again. We got wage price index for Aussie, which is interesting. We have employment change for Aussie. So quite a lot of news for Aussie. We have the RBA speaking as well. So quite interesting for Aussie, and we'll see where our sentiment lies for that. In terms of our bias, we have revised our bias quite a bit. So gold this week was bearish. Economic news was I deemed neutral. We still have some strength in the US economy. As a result, strength, even though there's inflation stories, I think we are quite bullish on USD still. As a result, I'm neutral on the economic news. I'm neutral on my bias. And what I've written down is we've got rising US inflation, which can be positive or negative for gold. We have bullish US economics, which is negative for gold. We have a neutral labor market, which is sort of negative for gold as well. No trades available. On the flip end, US 30, we had bullish COT reporting for US 30 this week. We have economic news still somewhat neutral, and my bias is still neutral. So what I mean by that is rising inflation isn't good. Bullish economy is good, but a neutral labor market is neutral as well. So no trades for that. I am in a US 30 trade currently, so we're just going to stay in that trade. Aussie, AU, we are bullish COT for Aussie compared to the US. We are bearish in terms of economic news, strength in the USD, weakness in Aussie. As a result, I'm neutral bias. UJ, we're actually quite bullish on the yen. However, still slightly bullish on USD. So I'm still saying COT is bearish to yen, economic news still bearish to yen, bias still bearish, but because there's an indication of strength in the USD, I'm just going to say no trades. Let's just not take it. There's better setups available. AJ is better though, because we are definitely more favored to the yen for AJ. So I am going to have short trades available, but from a technical point of view, it looks disgusting. I probably won't touch it. So if we jump at the charts now, guys, again, we'll look at silver a bit deeper later on, but we have the dollar index coming down, definitely in a bearish trend. We do have this nice support here, so we'll see if it retests that. But like I said, in terms of the inflation story, CPI is better than expected. Economic readings are still somewhat good. I don't expect this to go further down. I do expect it to go up. Yen, we had it pump up, comes back down, resistance here. Again, in terms of economic news, yen's actually doing quite good. I do expect it to be on an uptrend. AJ, very messy. You guys can see it tried to come down, pump back up, disgusting, not going to trade. AU I could still go short, but like I said, it's at least from a technical point of view, it is going up. I don't want to touch this. UJ, they're strong yen, somewhat slightly strong USD. I don't have a side I want to pick. US 30, we got it in that trade. It's choppy, potential to come around. We'll just wait and see. Gold, we had that real big pump. We had the first bearish candle that engulfed and is very, very aggressive besides that one. Like I said, we do have some strength in USD from the economic readings. Powell also suggests the indicators are quite good, quite bullish. So I'm staying away from gold. I don't think stagflation is at play, but silver. Silver, we had a pump up from this, broke here. We are at resistance. We did get a big rejection, but if we do manage to come down here into this area here, especially after this big rejection week, I would love to get into a position right here and let that play out. So that's my thoughts, guys, for the week. I'll catch you guys on the next one. We will do a separate silver video together where I'll discuss my thoughts on getting into this silver trade. Peace.